2 points dropped or a point gained? I think if you were really pushing me for an answer, it's 2 points lost, in my opinion. With the red card coming so early in the game, 30 minutes or so? So we had over an hour with a player advantage. With all the injuries that City had coming into the game, I feel like we've missed an opportunity here today. I think going into the game, I was quite confident looking at that team sheet. I know people have got their kind of criticism of Zellum. I don't think she was any worse than Jackie today. Or, I think the whole tempo of the play was slow. And this was one thing I will reiterate, and I've said this a lot, that this team isn't anywhere near its potential yet. And it clearly isn't. We're not playing at a high enough tempo. When we're trying to switch the play, it's got to go through 3 or 4 players just to switch the play to one side. Rather than one ball from, let's say, Hannah to Honor, it's got to go through Maria and Mannion to get there, which is not ideal. And by that point, by the time you switch the play, City just shifted across. And it's easy to defend. And I think they knew that as well, because Leah and Hansen had so much space. But I think they knew that they weren't going to get the ball, the City defenders. So they just kind of let them have that space. And by the time it got to them, they were crowded out. So that player advantage never really felt. I said to John halfway through the game, I completely forgot they had a red card, to be honest. It felt like that we were the ones that were being pressed and kind of harried, and City had all the time in the world on the ball. But yeah, it's a difficult one today, especially I can commend the character of the players. We got back into the game, after half-time. The substitution of Staniforth worked. Mark really needs to find a way of getting her into the starting 11, in my opinion, because she has been probably one of our best midfielders this season, obviously discounting Ella. So he needs to find a way of getting her into that starting 11. I don't know whether Tooney was shooting from the quick corner, but whatever, it worked. Great finish by Lucy, and then Alessia Russo as well. The chance it looked like it got away from her. But it was a nice turn on the ball, nice finish into the bottom corner, and that atmosphere, I can't describe what that was like, that second goal. The atmosphere in the stadium at that point was just brilliant. And can we just go back to that? Can we just go back to that moment? And then obviously the equaliser for City as well, which actually really unfortunate, because it was a brilliant save from Mary to push it onto the bar. And it just ricocheted off the back of her head. Obviously fell to the one striker that you don't want it to fall to. So that was a bit unfortunate. But I think we're only going to tell whether this was 2 points dropped or not when it comes to the end of the season. If we're a point or 2 points away from top 3, then obviously you can look at this game and go, we should have gone for the kill. We should have killed that game off potentially. But we could look at it at the end of the season. We're still 6 points ahead of City. We've still got that gap to them. All we need to do is make sure we beat everyone else outside of the top 3, because I don't think we're going to be beating Arsenal. But you never know. We could beat Arsenal. We could go away to Chelsea or City and beat them as well. Who knows? That's what I mean. I don't think we're going to know until the end of the season whether this was two dropped or a point gain today. So it's one of those. I know people have got their criticism of the midfield, but it's like I said, I don't think Zellum was any worse than what Jackie was today. Jackie grew into the game, and it was a bit. This is the issue around the captaincy, isn't it? Because the better Jackie was getting, you always knew if Sienna was going to make a change, it's Jackie that's going to be pulled. And unfortunately, I think he pulled her off at the one time when she was growing into the game and really making an influence. So it was a difficult sub to make. It was probably needed, but it's like I've said on previous shows, you're not going to take your captain off, are you? So the only other midfielder you're going to take off is Jackie. So it's difficult, but I know it's not a popular thing to say, but I do feel like Zellum was a bit of a scapegoat today. Hearing some fans after the game just blaming her was the reason why we didn't win today. That's not the case. We didn't win today because we weren't quick enough. The whole back four wasn't quick enough. Jackie and Zellum weren't quick enough. Tooney was being pushed out wide because Hansen and Leah were coming so narrow to get the ball. So there's a number of reasons why we didn't win today, and it's definitely not down to one single player why we didn't. So I guess I'll kind of end on a positive. I think there are positives there. We've got quality in this side. We just need to start showing it, I think. Once Leah, I don't know what's going on with Leah at the moment. I don't know whether the kind of injuries she had over the summer or what's happened there. Doesn't seem to be going into tackles as much or sprinting as much and things like that. But hopefully once she starts firing, she's had that chance today and just kind of snatched it a bit more composure there. And, we could go 3-1 up and kill the game there. But So once we start firing and once we start playing with a bit more tempo, I think we'll be fine this season. But we just need to start playing the ball a little bit quicker. The quality's there. The finishing will come. Mark Skinner is well aware of how the fans feel, as Natalie was shouting at him at the end of the game when he came over to us. So there are positives to take from this. Like I said, we'll know at the end of the season whether this was 2 points lost or a point gained. So we move on. We've got Durham, first cup game on Thursday. So we look forward to that. And then there's the international break, which we're not looking forward to. So honours even in the derby, but it's not all negative. We just got to move on. So on to the next one. See you guys soon.